Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Social Antipasti podcast. Today, I have a very special guest from Spain. Are you ready? Let's go. Hi, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Social Antipasti, your special podcast concerning especially social customer service and customer experience. Today I'm very happy to have a guest. She is Spanish. Her name is Billie Lou Sastre-10. Welcome, Billie.
Hi, Paolo. How are you?
Fine, thanks. I hope I pronounced it well, your name. Did I?
Perfectly.
All right, great. For those who do not know you, maybe people from my audience from UK and most from US, maybe you can just introduce yourself. So, can you tell our audience who you are and what you do specifically?
Yes, of course. Well, as you well said, my name is Billie Lou. I am Mexican. I have been living in Spain for now 15 years, and I am a social customer care evangelist. So my background, I started in the social customer care ambience when I launched a social customer care team via Twitter and Facebook in the company that I worked 5 or 6 years ago.
Yes.
This was an international company with presence in Spain, Portugal, and Venezuela. So we were starting to see the main necessity that we were offering e-commerce solutions, and clients were asking for their packages, and they were asking main questions on Twitter.
Yes.
So we saw this opportunity to open a specific social customer care channel on Twitter and Facebook. And we did it very slowly because 5 years ago, if you can imagine how the market is now, as you know very well the market in Italy and in Spain, 5 years ago it was really difficult. So what I did is I was very constant, and first it was only me. Then I convinced the board of directors to train the team.
Great.
And we had a team of 15 people, 7 of them trained for social.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say that it's a very slow procedure. Companies have to understand what social is. They have to get to know the benefits of what they're doing, and they have to change a lot of their internal processes. They have to be much more social and collaborative. So it's not easy. I get a lot of questions here in Spain. I am a blogger as well. I have my own blog, and I post mostly about social customer care.
Oh yes, you can name it, of course. Quote it.
Yeah,
please.
first it's billiesastre.com.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
That's
great. And I get a lot of questions on how to convince directives to really launch social customer care strategies.
Mm-hmm.
And the answer is quite difficult because I know and I understand how difficult it can be to convince a director.
Yes.
Yeah.
I totally, have similar situations here in Italy, because we have lots of things in common, Billy. First, we both deal with social customer service. And secondly, we deal with markets, I mean the Spanish and the Italian one, which are similar because they are still young in terms of social customer service adoption. That's why, as you said, we need to also to convince to evangelize brands on how they can take and enjoy benefits of adopting social channels to improve customer service efficiencies, and get real benefits.
Exactly. That's why I call myself a social customer care evangelist.
Oh yeah,
because that is my job, to evangelize people here in Spain and Latin America.
Great. That's a big deal, but it's very challenging. I can imagine that it's very challenging, but it's very intense and positive. The fact that we are, let me tell you my view, we are facing a brand new, revolution in terms of conversations between brands and customers.
Exactly.
So brands need professionals who are able to handle it and help them face it and adapt it and customize it according to their targets, their objectives, and their specific audience. Do you agree?
Yes, of course. Actually, I'm giving a conference on June 18th.
Yeah.
And the title of the conference is How Social Media Has Revolutionized Customer Care.
Yeah.
And I think it's put it upside down, because for the first time in history, social media, what it's done, it has given access to clients and to people to communicate with brands effectively and with transparency. So it's a revolution that has started, and that brands have to understand that it's going further and further, and they have to adapt and they have to change the way that they work.
Yes.
Because in a few years, their own personnel and their own employees are going to be using, or are using right now, social media to communicate with others. So the only step is that the organizations have to become more social, and that's quite difficult, because you have to change a lot of culture inside the company. But it's not impossible.
No, it's not, because...
And it's challenging, and it's fun.
Yeah, it's challenging and it's fun. And I think you greatly introduced the second question that I'm going to ask you, because we want to go a little bit deeper into what social customer service is. So can you explain, or can you define social customer service like I was a 7-year-old child?
Of course, and I have 2 children that are more or less that age, so I can do it.
That's fun.
Yeah. Social customer service is actually not very different than customer service itself, apart from the technology and the way you communicate with people. And it's actually being where your customers are now, answering their questions, listening to what they have to say, and being in a way more human and more close to your clients. So social customer service is responding, listening, and being close to your clients on social channels, which doesn't mean you have to be on every channel. It means that you have to understand where your customers are, how they behave on that particular channel, and how you can approach that channel to address their needs. Because you have... you're from Italy, and probably in Italy you have some social networks that are used more.
Yes,
than
I can
others.
mention Facebook, definitely.
Yes. And for example, if you go to places like Latin America or here in Spain, there's one that's starting to really be used very much, and it's WhatsApp.
Oh, yes.
And people have to adapt. Companies have to adapt to all the new technologies, and it will get easier and easier as long as they get how to be social inside the company. Because the difference between, I would say, email and chat on the website and
former channels,
telephone, the difference is that, well, for once you can go viral very quickly, so you have to have a very well trained team. The team has to know how to talk in the tone of voice of the brand, and the difference is that you can't hide things anymore. So before brands could, marketing could give a message, and then they would say our product is the best, and you would listen to that message in the radio or watch it on TV, and you could yell at the TV or say that you don't agree with that message, but that's the only thing you could do, really. Or then you would send an email or call, and it would all stay within you, client, and the company. And now what social has done is that I can easily say something that I don't agree with a brand or service or product, and I can share it with my friends, and my friends can share it with their friends, and that can go viral really quick. So we need to be better, well prepared, and we need to understand the social channels and how to address those needs of our clients in this stage that we're at.
Well, I totally agree with you, Billie. In fact, what you said is, the strong demand by customers to use social channels implies for brands the need to raise the bar in terms of efficiency and customer experience level.
Exactly.
Otherwise, our clients will complain not only online but specifically using social networks to make it viral in a negative way, of course, as you mentioned. So I totally agree with you. That's a real revolution. But in your opinion, why is it so important, social customer service for businesses? So let's try to evangelize brands using this podcast for a while.
Yes. Well, for once, it's important because customers are already talking about our brands and our services and our products on social media. So it's not that we have to choose if we are going to be there or not. It's the fact that you can, if you adopt social customer service effectively, you can take your social media strategy to the next level and really care about your customers and surprise your customers, because right now, at least here in Spain, in Latin markets, there are not a lot of brands that are doing it and doing it well. So it's a big opportunity for brands to do it well and to surprise and to wow their customers. It is very important. And secondly, because there are a lot of studies that say that if you do social customer care effectively, not only will your clients be happy, but they will recommend more and they will buy more. They will buy from 30 to 40% more if they are treated correctly. They would pay for a better service as well. So there's research that says that you will not only be doing this to treat your customers correctly, but you will be selling more, and you will be getting better references from your clients, because social clients share more good experiences and bad ones too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so those would be my strong points on why it is really important. And another one would be because the biggest frustration of a client is being redirected to other channels. So I've seen this a lot. I don't know if you've seen
Yes,
a lot
yes,
in
I saw the
Italy.
same process in Italy,
But
unfortunately.
yeah, here in Spain, it's terrible. It's people complain on Facebook or on Twitter, and the brands just answer, "Okay, thank you. Send us an email, or reach to us over the phone, and
Yeah.
here's our phone number." And this is the cause of 80% of customer frustration.
Frustration, yeah.
So our clients are asking for it, and I think it's not something that you would be spending money on. You are investing on your clients and on your service and on your overall customer experience.
Yeah.
We've seen some case studies here in Spain where social customer care is done so well in some companies
Yes.
that they've had to change traditional customer service because they were getting really good feedback from social. So
That's good to hear.
yes, it is. It is. So I think, brands have to adapt to this new way of communicating with their clients.
Yeah, definitely. In fact, you mentioned stats that are directly connected with business results. So I see also that customer service for the first time ever becomes also a way to leverage business results, because if our customers are so happy, they are bound to and they're willing to buy more regardless the price. So I think that the war of tariffs, lots of companies try to compete only on lower tariffs. I think this is over, because you can go lower and lower and lower if you want to make profits. The new differentiator is the quality of service perceived by customers. And if we as brands are able to deliver such an outstanding experience, our customers will stay with us. They will talk about our brands in a very positive way on purpose, using social networks, and they will buy more products and more services. So this is not just a way to use social networks to add just a simple new channel to interact, but it's a new culture.
Exactly.
New business culture. And I think this is the most challenging concept to convey to top managers. Don't you think, Dave?
It is. It is very challenging, yeah. Because changing, especially really big organizations,
Yeah.
changing their structure and how they work takes a lot of time. It's a very slow process. I've lived it. I've worked with social corporate networks, and I know that technology is here for us and can help us, but if you don't change the culture, the technology won't work.
Yeah, totally agree, definitely. And technology changes so fast, while people need time to get accustomed to new things, to new culture.
Yes.
So this is a very strong challenge. So on one side, we would like to, speed up this process in terms of culture, of awareness, but at the same time, we must also understand that people need time. What we can do is to do our best to help, decision makers, top managers, to understand how it is important to be one of the first companies to use these channels and to use them wisely and efficiently in order to be better than competitors.
If the top managers are convinced, then the whole strategy will work perfectly.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, and like mountains, unlike mountains, you need to start from the top of the mountains and then
very
go
important.
down. Yeah. Billy, I watched one of your slideshare deck, and I saw a very interesting one, which was entitled "Customer Service is the New Marketing," and I like this concept. But can you explain and motivate this concept for our audience?
Yes, of course. What I mean by this is that we are now, right now it's, at least here in Spain, the companies that do customer service, social customer service, they have it, the social customer service team is on one side and marketing is on the other side, and they don't speak to each other, and it's not well communicated.
Yeah, that's the old culture. We're having the same.
In most companies, I can't say that in every company, but in most of them, that's what's happening. So what I mean by this is that, for one hand, you have a lot of customers that are asking a lot of things on social media, and that are the new customers. Really, what they do, if you go and search or do an audit on how people search for information, if they have a question, most of the new generations will try to find the answer to that question online before addressing to you via social or via traditional customer service. So what we need to do in our whole strategy is be very communicated with the customer service department and the marketing department. Because if you can generate content that will provide value to your clients so that when they have a question, they can find it themselves, you will be giving a lot of value to your clients, and you will be helping your team to be more productive. Because your team can also find the answers to very common questions that are gathered. So this is for one part of why this is the new marketing. Another one is the part that we said that social clients share more. So if you do a good job and you wow your customers, they are going to share that with their friends.
Yeah.
They are going to share that experience, and they are going to help you in your marketing.
Yeah.
Far way better than you could do it yourself. Because guess what? Customers trust in 70% what other people say on sites, and on 90% on what their friends say on their sites. So if you are able, I mean, it's just a matter of what do you want your customers to be talking about your brand?
Yeah.
Do you want them to be sharing bad experiences, or do you want them to be sharing excellent and great experiences? There's your answer to why customer service is the new marketing. Because if you get the idea on how to wow your customers, then they are going to be doing the marketing for you.
Yeah, that's a great mix. That's a very effective strategy.
It is.
It is absolutely. In fact, customers will talk about brands regardless brands are present or not online. Exactly. So it is imperative for brands to be present and do their best to deliver an outstanding customer experience. And people, I would also add that people trust people and not any brands anymore. People are tired of listening and receiving tons of ads every day. Okay, so I think that everyone can identify himself or herself in our daily situations. So we switch on our smartphone or TV or radio, and we receive ads and ads. So buy this, don't buy that, get a discount and stuff like that. But with this information and ads overload, people decide what and where to buy using online information and using word of mouth, which is a personal word of mouth with friends, relatives, or colleagues at work, or online word of mouth from perfect strangers. So people may just read a negative comment on Twitter by a stranger or two or three strangers, and upon that negative comment decide not to buy a service from a brand, even though they do not have any contact with those irate customers. Okay, so that's why customers have changed their behavior, and they got more power than ever. So that's why brands need to be change culture. So coming back to what we previously mentioned, and be able to speak to customers at the same level with total transparency, as you mentioned before. That's very important. I would say crucial for achieving excellent results and to retain customers, which is also imperative during difficult periods like we are facing, especially in Europe, like Spain and Italy. We're still dealing with a very long-lasting financial crisis. So, retaining customers have become very, very important. Also for the stats that you mentioned.
Yeah.
So, as you also mentioned, listening and responding to customers, I would like to ask you, Billie, what's the role of active listening and monitoring conversations for an effective social care strategy?
Well, I think in this question you have two main things. One is how big is your team? How can you approach proactive customer service? Because active customer service would be answering to the queries or to the questions that you receive on social, on your own channels. But proactive customer service would be going a step further and listening on what customers are saying about your main keywords or the things that you determine that are, for example, your products or the name of your brand or whatever things that you think you should be listening to as a brand, and addressing those issues as well. Because you know that sometimes as clients, we don't really look for the Twitter handle of the brand that we want to complain about. We just post it because we're frustrated and we just want to, share our frustration with the world. And proactive social customer service is very effective and can really surprise your clients if you do it correctly. So I would say the first thing you have to do is realize how many conversations are really happening about the keywords that you would like to listen to.
Yeah.
And if you have the capability and the correct size of the team to manage these situations. But if you don't, you should be listening and monitoring what is being said about you as a company in social and in other networks like blogs and forums. Because it's very important to determine if there is like a possible crisis, When I was working in the company that I mentioned before, we would determine possible crises on forums. Because
how did you do that?
Well, we had one person that only did monitoring on our team, and this person would have the specific keywords that. Well, this was an express delivery company,
right.
So we had specific keywords to determine if people were talking about us and what they were saying. And forums are a very special place. We had a special service that is a pet service transport. So when you do this kind of transport with animals, animals are a very loved part of a family. So if something happens, it can really go viral really quick. So you have to address it really early in order to stop the crisis. So we had some alarms set.
Great.
And we were able to stop crises from going really, really viral. Because we had a good and effective monitoring and listening team.
Great. That's a very good example, Billie. So can we say that adopting an efficient early warning system is important to prevent or to mitigate, fires?
It is very important.
Crisis.
And another thing is to have your crisis planned really well determined and written down, because we've seen a lot of companies just act on how randomly, however they can, and they all confess that if they would have done the exercise of writing down their crisis plan before it happens, you can never be 100% prepared. You will always have new things to add, but it is very important to have your plan written down and to know who are the main key people in your company that you will have to contact.
Who is involved, when, how, what he or she is going to do, and when. So
exactly.
And in fact, I think also that in such cases, even though few staff are involved in handling crisis, all the staff should be informed about who will handle the plan, even though they will not handle it. Because if a staff who is not dedicated to handling a crisis gets notice that a possible crisis may arise, he must be able to inform immediately proper staff to intervene.
Exactly.
So you mentioned a very, very interesting case. Definitely. So Billie, social platforms and social networks, staff training, we're talking about many tasks for brands to rethink, rearrange. Okay. What would you recommend to brands wishing to integrate social channels within their contact centers?
Well, the first thing I recommend is that they have a well-designed strategy. Because a lot of brands just happen to go out there and to do it like, oh, okay, well, no problem, we'll start doing Twitter and Facebook, and then they see that it's kind of different and that they didn't have the correct strategy in the first place. So to design a correct strategy, at least for me, there are several things that you should really know. First of all, is knowing where your customers are and what channels you will be using to to address your clients' needs. Second of all, I would say is structuring a good team.
Right.
So you would have to train your team. You would have to take some time to get to know the tone of voice you're going to be using.
Yeah.
Training the team is it can be as long or as short as you desire, but the longer the better. And the more you repeat it, the better for your team as well. KLM does a 2-month training for their social care agents. So you can see it's a long process. And
maybe they're the best brand doing social customer service so far.
Yes, it's a very good example.
That's not a case, yeah.
But you can do trainings for one day as well. So it depends a lot on the size of your company.
Yeah.
Then the third step would be designing your processes. So all the workflows and all what kind of agents will solve what kind of problems.
Yeah.
If you have prioritization rules and all of the procedures, you will follow the escalation map. All of the procedures you need to use, you will need to use, and you will need to have it all documented in your strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Then the fourth step would be designing great politics or internal guidance, rules.
Guidelines and policies.
Yeah. For your employees, because even if you have a team of 3 or 7 or 15 or how many, as many people as you have on your team, at one point or another, all of your employees are social, and all of them will be in contact with your social team. So if you design guidelines that help them know how they need to or how they can behave on social regarding your company, you will avoid a lot of headaches.
Oh, yes. Yes, the famous do's and don'ts are crucial.
It doesn't have to, they don't have to be rules. The word rule sounds forbidding.
Yeah.
And employees tend not to like them, but you have to let them know how you expect them to act on social.
Yes. If you give them guidelines, I think that they will accept them, because any kind of staff is looking for guidance and for guidelines. So if they lack, they would complain with their managers, because we need a staff to be guided. Okay, you are the managers, give us the guidelines. At the same time, I think managers and brands are in charge of giving the proper guidelines, especially as for social customer service.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Then we have the fifth step, that would be designing your crisis plan. Writing it down and all the things we just said before.
Yes.
Then choosing your technological partner would be another important step on the process. And number 7 is getting to know how you will measure the effectiveness of your social customer care strategy, because at the end of the day, we need to know how our agents are doing, what kind of productivity they're having, and the board of directors, all the CEOs are moved by numbers. So if you can give them numbers, then you will be getting more.
You will be listened.
You will be listened, and you can invest more in the future in your team and in your strategy. So these are the 7 steps that I have developed for my agency and for designing a good strategy and social customer care.
Great. very clear and sounds very good as strategy and points. And the latest one that you mentioned, setting up proper KPIs is not so easy, I guess, because as for social customer service, KPIs are slightly different to those who were used to be used for contact centers.
Mm-hmm. It's
How can
very
you
challenging
identify proper KPIs for social customer service? What kind of criteria do you use to define, or do you have some in particular that you recommend?
Actually, it depends a lot on the brand, and this is the famous ROI question that is not well addressed. It's not completely there yet. We are not in social and in social in general. I mean, in marketing, they have the same issue. How can we measure? And it's really complicated. But only if you start measuring small things that can help you be better, like, for example, your response time, your handling time.
Or your response rate, maybe.
Yeah, your response rate, your sentiment, the sentiment change or the evolution of the sentiment over a conversation is very important. How many frustrated clients do I turn into happy clients? This is a very important one.
That's a very interesting one.
Mm-hmm. And the individual agent resolution time is another one. The kind of issues that are addressed the most, and what are they about?
All right.
And how can you be or transform? What kind of feedback are you giving to your company? Because I think this is one of the things that, at least here in Spain, I have seen that is failing, is that companies are doing social customer care, they're answering questions, but I think they're not really giving the feedback to the other departments. Like, for example, I was just monitoring a brand that I won't say the name, that had, in the course of over 2 months, like 90% of their complaints of their clients were because the clients couldn't reach on the phone to the stores, local stores. So here you have a gap.
Yes.
You cannot be answering the same question. Oh, I'm sorry, how can I help you? I'm sorry they didn't answer in the store. And not train your store supervisors to answer the phone correctly and on time.
Yes.
So you have to give the feedback, and you have to let directors know, okay, overall, and this month we received 90% of our complaints were because of this was happening, or our website was really slow this month. What can we do to help?
Yes.
And we need to change our website. So the feedback has to go all the way to the company, and they have to adopt and really understand what clients are saying. I mean, I was in New York a few months ago, and I listened to the social customer care manager of Whole Foods, and she was saying that they actually, in social, they get to know before the store manager, they get to know what they're doing wrong, because clients go there and they say, listen, I was here in this store and this product is not well placed, or this product doesn't have this and that, and they can change all the procedures before even the manager really gets to know what's going on his own store.
So that's impressive. That's really impressive.
This is really the real revolution, and this is how brands have to act. I mean, they have to be prepared as well to change the things that they know they are lacking, not just listen, answer, and try to answer not as effectively. You have to answer and fix.
Yes, fix. Yeah, you gave a very good example, because as long as brands still adopt new channels such as social networks with the old culture of handling, phone conversation, they won't be able to deliver excellent customer experience. So as they get feedbacks, especially those negatives, they need to act, to intervene, and to improve what is going wrong. So
Exactly.
just using new channels won't prevent you to avoid any flame, or even worse, you will pay a very, very high price in terms of losing profits.
Yes.
So that's very interesting. In United States are very, very advanced in terms of embracing social customer service. But as for Spain, what's the state of the art for social customer service, and which industry in particular is ahead of the pack, if there is one?
Well, I have a few examples of brands that are doing really good in social customer care here in Spain. Mm-hmm. I would say that because of the need of the own social networks, the companies that are providing services are the ones that are doing social customer care, even if they're not doing it 100% correctly.
Yeah.
But if you have a service, if you offer a service, clients are asking for more and more queries on social.
Yeah.
So you have Movistar.
Yeah, I know. This telco, mobile phones company.
It's a telco company, yeah. And they have a team of around 20 people. Mm-hmm. They handle a lot of conversations during the day.
Yeah.
And they have adopted social customer care for a long time now in Spain. So it's like, I don't know, 5 years or so.
Wow, that's impressive. Yeah.
And what is really nice of them is that they have their social team all together. So marketing and social customer care, they work together. They are really communicated. Yeah. So they know what's going on marketing side. They know what's going on the social customer care side.
That's very good.
They work in an open space, so they all share the information. Like, oh, I have this really upset client that is complaining about this, and then the other person listens to that and says, "Oh yeah, well I had one similar this morning, and I can help you." Right. So this is very important. The way that they work in an open space and all together. Yeah, is very important. And they do a lot of really excellent things. Like, for example, and I have got to, I was invited to one of their events. Well, yes. It wasn't, you can't call it really an event. What they did is they gathered over some like 15 or 20 people that had been treated over Twitter. And I was one of them because I am a client of them. Yeah. And I hadn't complained about something on Twitter, so it was real. And they invited us to have breakfast at their offices. Yes. And we were received by all the team, all the social customer care team, and they just were interested in how was the experience with the management of our problem and what they could do to make it better. I think this was very powerful. Yes. I think it was, for them, it's easy because inviting 15 clients for a breakfast, it's very easy to organize and to do, and you And the return you get on that, I mean, I posted a blog, a post on my blog about the experience I lived, because I was surprised when I received the email of the social media manager inviting me. I was like, wow, this company really cares about their customers.
Yeah.
So they do this. They also do a lot of meetings with other companies that are doing social as well.
That's
so
great.
they learn, they benchmark.
That's great, because they benchmark on one way and they listen to customers directly on the other one.
Yeah, and they do. They are doing a really good job. Movistar. Then you have Banc Sabadell, that is another Spanish company.
Yeah.
That for over more or less, I don't know how many years, but 5 or 6 more or less, and they were the first ones to offer 7-day 24-hour service over social media.
Wow.
And can you imagine a bank? I mean, a bank. The offices here close at 2. So
really? At 2 o'clock? Wow.
Yeah. The bank is not open on the afternoons.
Oh.
So it's really revolutionary. I mean, you have the physical bank that is closed, but online you can have help, and you have people helping you on weekends and 24 hours. So I think they are doing a really good job as well.
Yeah, that's very powerful. 2 very powerful examples. Yeah. So, how about your next projects, Billie? Let's talk about you and your future.
Yes. Well, as I mentioned before, I recently opened an agency, which is a consultancy agency that helps brands develop their strategy, and we're specialized in Spanish and Latin American markets.
Right.
So my future looks like expanding the brand, and I'm going to Mexico on July. I will be traveling to other international places further in this year to give conferences. I can't tell right now because it's not official.
Yeah.
I am also writing a book in Spanish about social customer care. Yes, I'm very excited.
That's great.
I have to be a little bit more constant.
Yeah.
In my book writing, but it's something that I've been doing for a while now, and it has helped me a lot on discovering brands and really good social customer care
case
studies. So it has given me a lot of useful information.
Oh, when will it be released? I'm curious to read your book.
I do not have a date.
All right.
No.
This year? During this year?
No. I think it will be on 2016.
All right. But you're working on it, so.
I'm working on it, and it's the first time that I say it in public. So you have the first
an exclusive.
You have the exclusive, yes.
Well, the fact that you mention in public is, I guess, that you're working harder on it, or you want to work harder on it. So you're more determined. You're aware that you want to get it done.
Exactly. So for me, it's a determination. Yeah, I do. I want to get it done. So yes.
That's great. So, thank you very much for all your great tips and insights during this conversation. But before saying bye-bye to our listeners, where can we find you online? So give all your social connections and details. So where can we find you, Billie?
Well, that is easy because since I have a special name that doesn't resonate a lot, my social presence is I have my website that is Billie Sastre.com. And then I'm Billie Sastre in all the social channels. So I have my Facebook page, which is billie.sastre. I have my Instagram account, Billie Sastre. I have my LinkedIn profile and my Twitter account that is Billie Sastre as well.
Oh, that's very easy. That's very easy. I like this approach.
Yes.
That's very easy.
Constant and consistent.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I think we've had a very interesting discussion because you gave a lot of examples of local and international brands which have already successfully embraced social customer service, and also you gave us your recipe for 7-point strategy, 7 or 8-point strategy, which may resonate well to all managers who will listen to this podcast. So, Billie, I'd like to thank you very much for your time, and I think that we will have the chance to speak in the near future also for podcasts and other things since we have so many things in common in terms of business.
Thank you for inviting me. It was a pleasure.
You're very welcome. Next time we may try to speak half Spanish and half English, but
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. So thanks to everybody. This was, episode of Social Antipasti podcast. You can find all my podcast episodes on Spreaker.com. So see you next time. Ciao.